Thank you for joining us for this our educating and entertaining presentation on duties and responsibilities of the teacher on the rights of the child, guided by the United Nations Convention on the Right of the Child, Article 3. We are advocates for the rights of children, and our team members are Shanique Bailey Wright, Shiva Butcher, Tatiana Carty, Shamika Butler, and Yasmeek Charles. In the year 1999, leaders from around the world made a commitment to children across the globe when they signed the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child. This convention would mean that children would be acknowledged as individuals who have rights that are to be acknowledged. Article 3 highlights the involvement of persons who have direct contact with the child. This includes teachers, caregivers, parents, legal guardians. The use of this article will strengthen teachers' knowledge about the best interest of the child in any given situation. Article 3 highlights the need for teachers, caregivers, and any legislative body, court of law, administrative authorities to have the child as the best interest at heart. The child should be the primary consideration. Article 3 also spoke of the protection of children observing health and safety standards as it relates to the well being of the child. Dishonoring any rights of the child would be dishonoring the UNCRC. Now sit back, relax, and pleasant viewing.
Miss Pocha, what really going on with Shem lately?
What do you mean?
You notice how she's been looking lately? Just today, she came and asked me for lunch.
Well, girl, she has been going through a lot lately.
Uh-huh. Well, tell me.
Girl, her parents separated. And it's been a roller coaster ever since for her.
Oh no. The Bronx family? I know that family was too perfect to be true now.
I'm surprised she came and asked you for food. You know, it's every day she eating hot dog. Sometimes she don't even have juice. And you know, her father stopped giving her mother any money for her at all.
Mr. Brown? But he was such a good man. How come now?
Girl, I don't know what happened. When she's with her father, her hair don't comb, her clothes not iron. Sometimes I even wonder if he have an iron at home at all. And lately, I don't know if it's me or not, but she kind of developing a odor.
Oh no.
Some,
I'm so sorry for her. I'm so sorry for her. But that family used to always contribute when she was in my class, you know. I never used to have to ask her for anything.
well, now it's a different story.
Oh Lord. The others coming. Somebody came in. Oh, somebody came in, so we will continue the conversation.
All right, yes, we will.
We will continue it.
Good morning, Mrs. Bailey, right? Are you busy at the moment?
Good morning, miss. No, I'm not busy at the moment. Come inside.
So I'm here to tell you something, and I am honestly upset about this. You know, yesterday when we were about to have our Zoom staff meeting, apparently when I joined the Zoom, I overheard Miss Butcher and Miss Charles discussing Shem's personal issues.
What? Miss Butcher, are you sure about what you're saying? What is it that they were really saying?
I don't know what got into their heads, because suppose it was somebody else who overheard them. So as I was saying, when I joined, I don't think they realized that I was there, that I joined afterwards. So they kept talking. They were there discussing her family issues. I heard Miss Charles saying that Shem asked her for money to buy lunch. they were discussing how untidy she looks these days. And Miss Butcher even went on talking about what she eats on a daily basis. She eats a hot dog. And I even went as far as talking about her father not supporting her anymore after the separation between.
No, Miss Butler. This is crossing the line. There is no way any teacher at all should be discussing any child. What if it was somebody else who overheard this conversation? We need to teach these junior teachers the proper way in dealing with situations like these.
Yes, I really think so too. Exactly. I definitely think we should inform the head teacher about this issue, so that she can plan another meeting where the staff can be sensitized or reminded of Article 3 in the Child's Rights Act.
Okay, miss, let us go and talk with the principal.
It is hard dealing with these teachers. Just the other day, one is letting me know that she's not aware of health and safety standards. And here again today, God, I ask you for your blessings on this thing. I get working. What are you telling me? You really heard teachers saying that? So you know what this means? We need an urgent meeting. Because apparently we're not aware of our duties as teachers. Did you know that Article 3 of the UNCRC basically spoke about teachers' responsibility with these children? Urgent meeting, 8 o'clock tonight, Zoom, nobody should be absent.
Right, colleagues, thank you for joining me. Thank you. Those of us who are not here, I hope they reach here safely, wherever they're coming from. Some of them are not home as yet, but thank you to those who are here. So I am not sure how many of us are aware of the reason for this session tonight, but I have been receiving information that some of us are not aware of our responsibilities as teachers as it relates to the rights of our children. And this requires urgent attention and action. Now, I have received some news that a teacher, Miss Smith, has made it known last week that she's not aware of the school's health and safety policy. And I have also received some information that other members of my junior staff were discussing a student via Zoom prior to the staff meeting on Tuesday night. No, let me just take a minute to just condemn the act and to inform my junior staff that it's distasteful. It doesn't matter which angle you want to look at it from, it is distasteful. Now, my senior teachers, along with myself, we have put together a presentation on the United Nations Convention on the Rights of a Child, more specifically Article 3, and we are teachers, we are familiar with this convention. So does anybody know what the UNCRC says, and Article 3, what does it say? Anybody?
We talk about rights of children,
All right, so it talks about rights of children. Anybody else?
how children should behave, and how teachers should treat children.
It's
Thank
basically an
Mhm.
agreement that was signed to protect the rights of all rights of children.
And I love the fact that you use the term agreement. So in the year 1999, leaders from across the world, they made a commitment that they signed. It is called the United Nations Conventions on the Right of the Child. And you know that this would mean that children would be acknowledged as individuals who have rights, rights that are to be acknowledged. Does anybody know any right that this UNCRC would have spoken about?
The right to belong to a family.
Thank you for that one.
The
Anybody
right to
else?
be protected.
Mm-hmm.
The right to
Anybody?
proper health care.
I love that one.
The
Anybody
right
else?
to be educated,
And I love that one too.
The right
the
to
right to feel
privacy.
safe,
The right to privacy. I love that one. The right to privacy.
the right to feel safe.
The right to feel safe. I am just happy that my staff is educated about the UNCRC. I'm happy. So now in the UNCRC, there are 3 points that are emphasized. Point 1 is that entities such as schools, court of laws, administrative authorities, and legislative bodies, how they treat and deal with matters that relate to the child. Does anybody know what that means? Anybody at all?
Children are to be treated with respect at all times.
Yes?
Yes, and also there is a proper channel if you know of something happening to a child to go to to relate the information.
Yes. And I am so happy that my senior teachers are speaking up in this meeting. Thank you, Miss Butler. All right, so point 2 states how persons in charge of the care of a child should conduct a matter relating to that child. Can anybody tell me what this means?
I think it goes back to what Shanique said with how the proper channel to report any issues.
Yes, thank you. So this means that any suspected case of abuse or neglect, the person who oversees that child, such as the caregiver, teachers, emphasis on teachers in this matter, the legal parent or guardian, they should go through the proper channel for reporting and monitoring any event that affects the health and well-being of a child. For example, here at our school, we currently have our child protection handbook that gives us information. It guides us on the identification and reporting protocols for suspected cases of abuse. And also, again, I am reminding my staff, I want each and every staff member to note that the privacy of each child shall and must be respected. And there is also something that is important that we should note. The UNCRC states that all children should be treated fairly and equally, regardless of race, class, or financial status. So my question is for you, Miss Butcher. What do you do if you suspect that a child is being neglected?
Well, I talked to another teacher.
You talk to another teacher. Can anybody assist Miss Butcher right there?
I would like to.
I have a question. Is it wrong to speak to another teacher?
All right, so I am not going to say that it is wrong to speak to another teacher, but can that teacher be trusted with confidentiality?
Okay,
What will
let
be
me
done from
address
there?
Ms.
Yes?
Butcher. So while it's a good question the principal asks, can the teacher be trusted? But while there, as we are talking, there is a proper channel. We have the guidance department who we go to if we want to talk with somebody about the child, and then the guidance department will take it to the other level. There is no way two teachers should be discussing any child at all, especially their home-related matters.
Thank you. Thank you. And let me just emphasize on that. Let me also remind my staff members, there is an active guidance and counseling committee that is entrusted with ensuring that the rights of our children are being observed. Any matter that you deem to require additional support, please use the services of our guidance counselor. Now let's move on to point 3. And point 3 says, the state shall ensure that the institutions, services, and facilities responsible for the care or protection of children shall conform with the standards established by competent authorities. Particularly, and I love this, the area of health and safety in the number and suitability of staff, as well as competent supervision. So if I did not come and address this now, my supervision would have been incompetent. I am not needed. If I did not come and talk to you guys about this today, we must address the situation. So now that the issue, we have talked about this. The issue of observing health and safety policies, the issue of the teacher who failed to report suspected cases of neglect, who fail to practice their duties as guided by the UNCRC, we will have stricter measures. So be prepared to be engaged in more training sessions. So I hope some of us are willing to give up our evenings for more training sessions where you will be educated on effective ways for reporting incidents such as negligence. If needs be, remember, no staff member is planted in this school. Let me go again. No staff member is planted in this school. So if the educational protocols that we use don't work, we will have to get competent staff. Because I refuse to let my school go down. Now to my last point.
we will be implementing new policies and programs. So our policies that were issued once a year, we are going to cut out the once a year because obviously it is not working, it's not clicking. So now we will be issuing it every school term, and that begins tomorrow. So I expect every member of staff not to just sign. Don't just sign these policies and don't understand what it is saying. I want you to be educated about these policies, and I want you to sign in agreement to these policies starting tomorrow morning. Now, is there any questions as it relates to our policies? Any question? Going once? Going twice?
No, not as yet.
No question.
Any
All right. I
apology
know
for
you
any
will have
behavior,
questions when you read the
unacceptable
policy.
behaviors?
Yes? Go again?
I was asking if there's any apology for any unacceptable behavior.
I would love that. I would love to hear that. Well, I spoke with Miss Butcher and I spoke with Miss Charles already prior to this. And also the guidance and counseling department will be taking up the matter. But going forward, I really don't want to hear anything like this. Come on, man. We are an institution that has been in this place for so long. We are a foundation. So many good people have passed through here. We have to get this thing right. So I expect each and every staff member to be at school early tomorrow morning to sign on to these policies, to understand these policies, right? So I want to thank you all for coming in tonight and have a blessed night. Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Same to you.
Good night.